Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's webinar. We are really glad you made time to be here, and trust me, by the time we wrap up today, you will be even more glad that you did. So today's session is titled "The Risk of Inaction: Navigating Microsoft New Extended Service Terms." So now it's might sound a bit technical though, but we are going to really talk about what we're going to be really talking about is how a policy change for Microsoft coming on the 4th of May 2026 can result in unexpected charges on your Microsoft 365 subscription. So if you're not prepared for it, that is why this session is here to make you prepared for it. So we are going to break all of that down clearly today, just practical, useful information that you can take back to your business and act right away. So before we get into it, let me take a moment to tell you all about who is bringing this session to you, and that is Ha-Shem Limited. We're an IT solutions company, and we have been at this for over 22 years. That is 22 years of helping business across Nigeria and Ghana navigate technology from Microsoft licensing to cloud solution in a way that is genuinely customer centered, because one of our core values is customer centricity, and that is what we are giving to you today. So we've built relationship with over 200 clients across all verticals, and we have been recognized 3 times as Microsoft Country Partner of the Year. So beyond that award, what drives us is technology should work for you, not the other way around. You should not work for technology, but the tech you're using should work for you. And that is exactly why today's session matter to us and to you, most importantly. A policy change like this one can easily slip through your notice for busy IT and finance, then we know how busy you can all be. That is why our job is to make sure you are informed, prepared, and protected. Sorry, I hope you can all see my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let me also introduce myself. I've been talking, and you have to know who is talking to you. My name is Queen Odili, and I'll be your host and moderator for today's session. And the person leading us through the substance of today's content is Adibie in us. Adibie is a Microsoft licensing specialist and the revenue growth department deputy manager, here at Ha-Shem. She specializes in Microsoft licensing, subscription optimization, and cloud productivity solutions. So if there's anyone who truly understands how Microsoft subscription works and what new policy change actually means, it is Adibie. So this is one of the sessions where every minute you stay will save you money and headaches down the line. So let's make the most of it. And we are very glad to have her leading today's session. So just to be fast, I'm just going to give you the housekeeping rules. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic, please, to ensure a smooth session. And also use the chat box. If you have any question, you can drop them in the chat box. We'll actively monitor and respond to them. Also stay engaged. It is because of you are bringing the session. Please listen, react, comment to make the session interactive. And also after the session by DBA, we'll have a Q&A time. So keep your questions ready, please. This is important. Keep your questions ready. Please, no unauthorized recordings. Please, after the webinar, we'll be sending the recording to you via your email, and you will get the replay available. Please have a stable connection for you to have the best experience and ensure you get your information. So, Adibie, over to you. Thank you very much. Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Please confirm that you
Yes,
can
I
hear me
can hear you
clearly.
now. I can hear you now.
Okay, thank you, Queen, for that introduction. I'm sharing my screen right now. Please confirm when you can see my screen.
Okay. Yes, we can see your screen now. Thank you.
Okay, okay, thank you. Good afternoon again, once again, everyone. Thank you for making time to join us. Before I go into what we have for you today, this is the first time we're having a Microsoft licensing webinar. And the reason we thought it's important to have this webinar is It's an important change in Microsoft's billing, in Microsoft subscription management. The initial plan was for us to share an email with our customers to let them know that this is what Microsoft is planning. But because of the complexities surrounding this new term, we thought it's important to hold a webinar instead where we can interact, have an interactive session, and shed more light, I would say, on the complexities that always surround Microsoft licensing. So that's why we're here today. Let's go to what we'll be covering for today. So this is the roadmap for today. We'll start with what exactly is changing in Microsoft subscription renewals. Then we'll look at why Microsoft is introducing the extended service terms. Going forward, I'll call it the EST because extended service term is almost like a mouthful. So I'll call it EST, and I would want to believe that would know what I'm referring to. Then we'll look at what happens when your subscription expires going forward, your three options at end of term, how this affects your Microsoft 365 and other license-based services, and finally, what actions you should take before the 4th of May. So I highlighted that date in red because I believe it's a date that everybody should highlight in red on their calendar, whether it's the physical calendar, your Outlook calendar, your phone calendar. It's a date that everybody should prepare for and make proactive plans. What's our mission for this webinar? Our mission is to ensure that IT, procurement, and finance team understand the complexities regarding these changes and even give you an opportunity to ask some questions regarding Microsoft licensing. That will happen at the end of this session. So you can make proactive licensing decisions and not get caught with surprise charges. So let's start with what is changing. Today, when your subscription expires, when your Microsoft 365 subscription expires, you have the option to renew your subscription. If your CSP partner turns off auto renew, you enter into a free grace period for 30 to 90 days. So I'll break it down. What you have for Microsoft subscription life cycle, you have 4 states. You have the active, you have the disabled. So you have the active, you have the expired, you have the disabled, and you have the deleted. Active is when your subscription is running, you've paid for it, and it keeps running based on the investment you've made. But when it gets due for renewal and you do not renew, it goes into what you call the expired stage. Your subscription stays in the expired stage for 30 days. After the 30 days expired stage is done, it then goes into the deleted stage, or the disabled stage rather. The disabled stage is a 90-day retention state. That's where your subscription stays for 90 days. If you do not still take any action after the 90 days, your subscription becomes deleted and you won't be able to reactivate the services anymore. That's the end. But what happens in the disabled state, that 90-day period, is you as an admin will be able to have access to your data, but your users won't be able to have access to their files or the services that they're used to. So it's just a retention period while you make your decision and make it fast. So that's what happens today. Going forward, starting May 4, your subscription, when it expires, you must choose one of these three options. You renew the subscription, which I hope every organization will do based on their proactive planning. So you renew as is, or if you want to possibly increase the quantity, reduce the quantity, upgrade your plan, downgrade your plan, that's the time you would want to ensure that those changes are being made. So renewing your subscription affords you that flexibility to make those changes. But I would advise, if you're doing that, you do it as early as possible, communicate with your internal team, arrive at a decision, and communicate to your CSP partner early enough so that you don't get into complications or some complexities that surround Microsoft licensing. The second option you have is canceling at expiration. What does this mean? Canceling means it goes into the 90-day disabled state. And it means you don't have access. Your users will tell you things are down, nothing is working. That's what it means. Or you move, that's the third option, and that's what Microsoft is enforcing starting May 4. You move to the extended service term, that's the EST, which also means that the free grace period that we all have been enjoying for 30 to 90 days will be removed. It will be discontinued. So why is Microsoft introducing EST? It's in Microsoft's plan to modernize their subscription lifecycle management. Previously, what has been happening is Microsoft has been the one taking the sole responsibility of financial investments as it entails your subscription services. So the data center costs, the cost of having your data retained for that 30 to 90-day period has been borne by Microsoft. The reason they're introducing the EST is to ensure that customers too contribute to the cost of maintaining the service. And after the EST is enforced, the grace period that we've all been enjoying will be scrapped. Let me just give you an analogy to ensure that everyone understands what EST means. And I'll use the name Property 365 just to go with the flow of how Microsoft names their products. So let's say a company, a real estate company called Property 365, you've been paying rent on an annual basis, and this company says, oh, it's time for you to renew. They've informed you or to pay your rent. Your rent is due next month. And they tell you also you have the option of paying for a short let. You don't have to stay here. You have various options. You can either pay for maybe a studio apartment. Currently, let's say currently you are in a 2-bedroom apartment, and they say, oh, no problem. While you're making your decision, you can stay in a studio apartment. And this is what is going to be the terms and conditions for staying in this studio apartment. You're going to pay 3% more. But also, while staying in that studio apartment, you have that at the back, you have it at the back of your mind that the number of days you stay there is what you're billed for. So let's say while making your plans, you think, okay, 2 months is what I need to make my final decision. I don't know if I want to remain in my 2-bedroom apartment, or I want to go to a 1-bedroom apartment, or I want to expand into a duplex, depending on my financial capability. While you're still putting things together, and maybe you're not the only one making that decision, it's a joint decision-making process. You can stay in that studio apartment, but have it at the back of your mind that you're going to be paying 3% more. The number of days you stay there is what you'll be billed for, even though you've already committed an amount. So Microsoft will do a proration, they'll do a calculation and bill you for what you've used, then refund you for the number of days that you didn't use. That's basically how the extended service term works. So your service continues without interruption. You'll be billed monthly. It's a monthly billing. There is no way. So if you're used to the annual billing, your subscription is on an annual basis. You can't say, oh, I want EST. we're not hoping that you move to EST because it's going to attract more investment or more financial costs, and we don't want that for you. That's why we're having this webinar. But just in case something like that happens, have it at the back of your mind that you'll be billed monthly. There will be a 3% increase in the cost, and you'll be billed for only the days you use during that period. You can also cancel the EST or convert out of it into a standard subscription. A standard subscription is your normal subscription. That's the subscription you're used to. So that's the standard subscription, because we're going to see that term again used in future slides. Again, I will break this down and ensure that we understand the three options we have going forward. We have the renewal subscription. What renewal subscription is you're starting a new subscription term, meaning if your subscription started March 2025, it's due for renewal March 2026, and you renew your subscription. That's the option you go for. It will renew from March 2026 to 2027. That's starting a new subscription term. And with this option, you have the possibility of changing your seat count. That's reducing or increasing the number of licenses you have, changing the term length. Term length is it monthly? Is it annual? Is it triennial? That's 3 years, because that applies to some subscriptions or some plans, Microsoft products. The third possibility is upgrade or downgrade. Let's say you want to move from a business basic to a business premium, a business standard to an E5, a business premium to an E3. There's a possibility of doing that, and it works the other way around. That's downgrade. Then you can also change your billing plan. Do you want an annual term, annual billing, or you want an annual term also, but monthly billing? Monthly billing is going to attract a 5% extra if you're doing annual term monthly billing. The second option you have here is the cancellation at expiration. And as I've explained before, your service ends immediately it expires. It is then moved into a disabled state and your data is retained for 90 days. Within those 90 days, your users won't have access to anything. It's just a data retention period. And if you delay your decision making after 90 days, it moves into a deleted state, which means you can't reactivate your services anymore and everything is gone. Then the third option, the main reason we're on this call, is the EST. So you move to EST. Your service continues, monthly billing, 3% price uplift. Now, I mentioned in the earlier slide, in the previous slide, that it's on a monthly billing basis. You can have an annual option for it. If you have an annual subscription currently and it enters into EST, you will notice a 23% uplift. Where does the extra 20 come from? The difference between a monthly subscription and an annual subscription is 20%. So if you're currently running your subscription on a monthly basis, it means you're paying 20% more. But that's what an annual subscription pays you or gives you as benefits. So that 20% difference between monthly and annual is what makes up for that 20% here, where you see 23%. When does EST apply? It applies when all three of these conditions are met. If you have a subscription that you bought last year, April, and after April last year, and you renewed on that same date, that's April or after, and your subscription expires this year, May for May the 4th, and after May the 4th. And auto renew is turned off, because there's an option for auto renew to be turned on depending on your agreement with your CSP partner, which I hope is Ha-Shem. But depending on your agreement with us, we as a partner, would turn on auto renew, knowing that you're going to make your purchasing decision before the due date. If no action is taken, all your eligible subscriptions will then move automatically to EST. So this is just a refresher slide. It's to refresh our memory on all that has been said. What happens if auto renew is turned off? Previously or currently for some subscriptions, if auto renew is turned off, you have a free grace period. Going forward, starting May 4, auto renew turned off means it's automatically converted into EST, except you say you want to cancel the services. Now, these are the EST policies according to Microsoft. EST can only be reached when auto renew is turned off and a subscription expires. If a customer converts to EST, they must do so at the same quantity and service level as the expiring subscription. This means you can't increase the quantity, you can't reduce the quantity when you're in EST. Your service level, what I'll explain as service level is your plan, your specific plan that you're on, the license type, your tier of functionality. So business basic can't be upgraded. It's just telling you that you can't make changes. What you have when your license or your subscription expires is what you will take in, is what you would your EST subscription will inherit automatically. When a subscription enters EST, they are charged at the monthly price of the subscription with a 3% uplift. Subscriptions may stay in EST indefinitely, but will be billed monthly. This is not our hope for you, but it's just to let you know that you can always stay in EST. It's not a wise financial decision, and that's why we're having this webinar to guide you against it. Customers can cancel or convert out of EST at any time. I've mentioned this before. It results in a prorated refund credit based upon the remaining billing period. In simple terms, you're billed for the number of days that you spend in EST. Canceling EST sends the service to a disabled state immediately. Data for subscriptions in a disabled state will be retained for 90 days. I think I have mentioned all of this before now. So let's go to the customer scenarios. We have 6 scenarios here. And before I start with any one of them, these scenarios are based on the assumption that auto renew is turned off, because that's one of the conditions of entering into EST. The first scenario we have here is any subscription term, which means it could be a monthly term, it could be an annual term, it could be a triennial term, that's a 3-year term. So let's say your subscription start date is April 2025 or after April 2025, and the end date is May 4, 2026 or after then. If you have such a subscription, the resulting behavior, the implication will be that it will result in EST if auto renew is turned off. The second scenario we have here is any subscription term and any dates. Any dates could be today, it could be next week, but any dates as a subscription date. The important thing we're looking at here is the end date. So if the end date is May 4, let me just put on my laser pointer so we can follow along. So if the end date is before May 4 this year, it enters into a free grace period. Now we have a 3-year term that started March 15 last year. And because it's a 3-year term, it's going to end in 2028, March 14. It will enter into the grace period. And the reason why this is so, because you may say, oh, but it's past May 4. The reason why this is so is here we have that this subscription started before April 2025. The fourth scenario we have is an annual subscription. The subscription started May 5th, 2025, and it's ending May 4. Remember, if it ends May 4 and after May 4, it enters into EST. And this even occurred after April 2025. Now we have a 1-month subscription here. It occurred after April 2025, but it's ending before May 4, 2026, which means that it automatically enters into a grace period, a free grace period. Now we have the last scenario, 1 month, the 1-month subscription, which is from here, we see that it's in the future. It's going to happen. So let's say we're going to provision a subscription on May 15th, which is already after the enforcement dates. So we know, even without completing this scenario, that it's going to enter into EST. So these are some basic scenarios that Microsoft has put out for customers just to see if there's anyone that looks very close to whatever their subscription state might be. Now we have another scenario, but this time it tells you what you can and what's possible in EST. And there are also 6 scenarios. So if you take no action and you stay in EST, as I said before, you can stay there indefinitely, which means you can stay there forever. But I don't see any customer making such decisions. But it will renew monthly if you decide to do so. Second scenario is if you like to convert from EST to a standard subscription, which I mentioned earlier. Standard subscription is just your usual subscription. That's the term Microsoft uses to put that into perspective, with no changes, meaning you're not increasing, you're not reducing, there's no change at all, you're just renewing as is. You can convert and you will receive the refund based on the number of days that you didn't use or you used either one. Now you want to convert from EST to standard subscription and make changes. It's possible. You can do that at any time and get your credit refund. The fourth scenario is you'd like to cancel your subscription in EST. You can do that too at any time, but note that it means you'll be moved into the disabled state. So when you're moving out of EST, you have 2 options. You either cancel or you convert out of it, meaning these 2 scenarios that I've pointed out here already. So canceling your EST puts your subscription services in a 90-day disabled state. The fifth scenario, if you like to stay in EST and make changes, it's not possible. Like I said, no change is acceptable. You can't change anything, just inherits your EST subscription, inherits what you have or what you had previously before entering that state. Would you like to schedule cancellation or conversion at the end of the EST term? It's possible to do so. You just need to have an agreement or communicate early to your CSP partner and ensure that both parties agree on the terms. This is another refresher slide. Again, just to emphasize the changes or the limitations, I would say, that you have in EST. You can't change your seat counts during that time. So note that even when you have a new staff and then you want to urgently provision a new license, you can't do that except you want to start a new subscription term. That's what it means. No upgrade or downgrades are allowed. Same service level. I've mentioned or I've explained what a service level means. Same service level must remain. To make any of the above changes, you must convert to a new subscription. So these are the key milestones and timelines. Microsoft announced the EST policy last year, and some of you might wonder, oh, why did you have to wait till last minute? Well, hopefully it's not a last minute communication to some of you, but we had to wait because the clarifications and new information only came in last month, which is February. And you see here also that the EST pricing was published last month. So we had to ensure that we didn't just jump into conclusions and communicate what is already from Microsoft. We wanted to ensure that we had the right information in hand and present them to you. This is the most important date to note and to walk away with after this webinar, May 4, 2026. That's when the enforcement is going to start. So what can you do now? I would advise that you review your upcoming subscription and see the ones that are expiring, the ones that are close to the dates that I've mentioned, the ones that fit into the scenarios that I've mentioned and would be eligible for EST based on the conditions set. Decide your renewal strategy early. Whoever you need to meet in-house, you need to communicate with in-house. Let the communication be done on time. We have some resources that we'll share after the webinar for internal communications. If you're in IT, how can you position this to procurement or finance? How can you make sense of it? How can you help them make sense of it and act early? Then I'd advise that you align your renewal options with your business needs. Are you looking to reduce some licenses? Are you looking to increase? Make those decisions on time. And then avoid unintended transition into EST. That's why we're having this webinar. We don't want you to move to EST. We don't want you to get surprise charges. And work with your Microsoft partner to plan renewal, which I hope is Ha-Shem Limited. How can we support you? We can help you review your subscription portfolios. We can have a licensing profile session, look at what you have currently and advise you based on security, storage, AI features, what you can add, not just because of revenue purposes, but of course your productivity and to also increase collaboration across the departments. Yeah. We can help you identify subscriptions that are eligible for EST. If we can come on a call with you, we can do that. We can help you develop renewal and optimization strategies. We can also help you ensure uninterrupted access to critical services. And here I put for existing customers because we can't, if we're not your CSP partner, we're not the ones who provisioned your subscription or your licenses, we don't have the access or the permission to ensure uninterrupted access to critical services. So this part is just for our customers, I would say. Our goal, again, is to help you make informed renewal decisions before May, which is the month of the EST enforcement. So for those in finance or procurement who are on this call, this is a cost comparison overview. The three options, this is what happens if you go with any one of them. The service access for choosing the renew option means that your service will continue, and then for billing, it's the standard pricing. Nothing changes, except for some things that I'll discuss in future slides. It's a news that is not so it's not so palatable, I would say, to some people, but I think it's essential for everybody to know of this. Then the EST, if you go into EST, your service continues also. It attracts 3% annual to monthly, 23% plus. Then cancellation means no access at all. Goes into 90-day data retention period. and no billing, of course, because if you choose to cancel, that's the end of it. The partner is not billed, which is us. Your users don't have access to files and services, and you as an admin can only access the data. Like I said, Microsoft has been making some changes, some interesting changes, which we thought it's important to include in this webinar. Because the date is drawing near, it's drawing so near, it's important that everyone on this call plans ahead for it, and somehow some people will be impacted in one way or the other. So let's jump into it. Starting July 1st, there will be a price increase for most of your productivity plans as you know them. The M365, Office 365, your Windows Enterprise for some people who are already adopting Windows Enterprise. And then for E1 users, it's good news for them. There isn't any price increase. Um, for the business premium users too, there isn't any price increase. For Defender Suite and Purview Suite, if you have that in your environment, note that there is no price increase. The reason for this price increase is Microsoft has introduced or added some storage and security capabilities to these plans. And it's been 4 years of innovation. It's been 4 years of innovation across security, compliance, productivity, AI, that's the co-pilot. And Microsoft thought that it's only right that they increase the price of some of these plans that are affected by the new capabilities. And just for reference purpose, the last time a price increase was done, a major price increase was done and affected these plans, it was in March 2022. So most of us are going to be seeing, if you have the business plan, you're going to be seeing an extra, with the price increase, you're going to be seeing an extra 50 gig email storage. So now you're going to have 100 gig mailbox for your business plans. You're going to be seeing some additional security features added to your Microsoft 365 E3. I know some customers have asked for some of these features and Microsoft is adding them to it. That's the E3 plant, and then the E5. You're seeing more security, more advanced and enterprise grade security and compliance features being added. Another change, another major change that happened, and this happened on Monday. Monday was 9th of March. It happened on Monday. Microsoft made a major announcement talking about Microsoft 365 E7. It's also called the Frontier Worker Suite. It's also called the Frontier Suite. What does E7 do? E7 is, I'd say, is a combination of E5, E5 containing your core productivity tools, your advanced security and compliance features or capabilities. It also has Entra suites. Entra suite is a security suite, but it addresses your identity and network access security, which is not so, I'll say you don't have this in E5. You only have the Entra ID Plan 1 and Plan 2 in E5. So some features of this Entra suite are not included in E5. Then you have your Microsoft 365 Copilot. And with Microsoft 365 Copilot, you also have the Copilot Cowork. This is a new tool that Microsoft is adding for Copilot users, and it's for you to delegate work to Copilot. It's more like a PA now, and it's something that learns your Office applications, what is going on there, and helps you. It's more like you give it something to think of on your behalf. So you can delegate work to it and it does independent work on your behalf while you attend to the more important things. It was built using Anthropic technology. And what you need to do is just describe your outcome to it and it turns your request into a plan. Lastly, we have Microsoft Agent 365, which is it's a hub where your agents are kept under control. So you observe what is going on, you govern what is going on, and you secure what is going on. What Agent 365 does is it's more like giving you an oversight to ensure that your non-Microsoft and your Microsoft agentic platform agents are kept under your control. For those who are familiar with spy movies, it's a way to ensure that your agent doesn't become a double agent or it doesn't go rogue. So that's what Agent 365 does in summary. Microsoft 365 E7 then combines all of these capabilities and brings it into one suite. It's possible to get them as standalone licenses, but then it brings it into one suite and gives you at $99 per user per month. Your Agent 365 can be bought as a standalone license at $15 per user per month. And the general availability for both of these, that's the E7 and Agent 365, is May 1st. So this just summarizes what I've explained in the previous slide. You can also get E7 without Teams at $90.45 per user per month. Before I go forward, let me just mention, for those who might be interested in E7 when it comes out in May, there is a promo that Microsoft is already introducing. So if you get 10 seats, you get a 10% discount. If you get 100 seats, you get a 15% discount. And if you get 1,000 seats, you get a 20% discount on your purchase. Like I mentioned, your Agent 365 is where you observe, you govern, and you secure your agents and ensure that they don't go rogue on you. So this is the Agent 365 ecosystem, showing you the possibility of managing all of the agents from these third parties. Okay, so that's it with the news, with the breaking news. I'm hoping that the key takeaway we will have from this webinar is knowing that starting May 4, the free grace period will be removed and you have to actively choose. I would say proactively because you need to make your decisions on time. So proactively choose what happens at expiration. If no action is taken, an action will be taken on your behalf, which is the EST. And it affects all of your subscriptions except your Azure-based subscriptions. So it affects your Microsoft 365, your Dynamics 365, Power Platform, and other CSP license-based subscriptions I won't be able to mention here. So it's now for you to take a look, do an inventory of your licenses and ensure that everything is kept in order. Okay, now is the time to have people ask their questions. We're happy to address licensing questions, renewal scenarios, cost implications, and subscription planning. And that can happen after this call on a one-to-one basis. Thank you everyone for listening. You can now ask your questions. Over to you, Queen.
Thank you very much, Adivier. Thank you for that wonderful session, and thank you for everyone. Thank you everyone for listening. So, as she said, it's time for questions. Please, if you have your questions, You can ask if you want to type them down, type them, I'll read them out and she will answer it. If you want to speak, please kindly raise your hands up. I'll be looking at the hands raised, then I will unmute your mic and you go straight to your questions. So yeah, let's go through. Thank you very much. So please, if you have any questions, raise your hand. I think I raised mine. I don't have any questions. Okay, I'm looking. Okay, Mr. Joseph, I'll be unmuting your mic so you can ask your question. Your mic is allowed, sir. You can go ahead. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joseph.
Good afternoon, Joseph.
I'm from Guinea Insurance. So I want to make a quick inquiry. Why is there no notification before license expiration?
So
Go ahead.
Yeah, so your subscription is typically managed by a partner, and then it's the partner that communicates the subscription notification or the expiration notification to you as the customer.
Okay, great. But it wasn't communicated to us, neither was it communicated to the admin. We had a few licenses that expired of recent. The licenses went off the users. So we had to just go ahead manually reach out to the partner then, it was paid for, and then we attached the license to back to the user. So in that sense, Ha-Shem, I think if they are the partner to these individuals, they should provide notifications. Once they get the notifications, they should communicate such to the individuals.
Yes, I can assure you that we have a team responsible for that, and we usually do that, but we can take this conversation offline with you to address this. Okay, I see that Veronica is Veronica wants to come in here. Please, Veronica, go ahead.
Your mic is allowed. You can go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So I just wanted to respond to what he said. So I don't think it's Ha-Shem that's that handled that particular license. Your license with us is has not yet expired. It's yet to expire. Just like Adibie said, you would always get a notification from us if it's close to the expiration dates.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you for that clarification. Further question is this. So, what is the period if the licenses expire in April? What notification period do you have in place?
Okay, so I want to respond because I don't take over the webinar from the host.
Yes,
Okay, all right.
I'll
I'll reach out to
Thank you
Veronica.
very
That's
much.
fine. Thank you.
So, Dibia, did you get his question?
Yes. So we usually have a 30-day period. Again, we have a renewals team, our customer operations team that communicates the subscription expiration notification to customers, letting them know that this is drawing near, the date is drawing near, and you need to take action. So as Veronica mentioned, when it's getting to the expiration date, you can expect an email from us with the financial implication of renewal.
Okay, thank you. We'll have a situation coming up. That's why I'm asking this question. Hopefully, so thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sir. Thank you. Does that answer your question, sir?
Yes, it does.
Mr.
Thank you very
Joseph.
much.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, is there anybody that has any other questions?
Yes, so Queen, I see a
Yes,
question
Mr.
from
Friday.
I see a question in the chat window. I'd just like to read it out, then provide the answer.
Okay.
So there's a question from Olajide Silani. What happens when your license is not expired and you're on E3 and want to migrate to E5? You can always move midterm to let me say this. So if it's an upgrade path that your current subscription is eligible for. You can always move midterm. And what happens is you get a refund from Microsoft. This refund, when we are sending you a quotation or an invoice, will be reflected in the price, which means you don't pay the full price for that particular subscription. You pay only what is remaining in that subscription term. That's the number of months remaining and the cost of upgrading to the higher plan. That's what happens.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Lajide. You can just type so that I will know if it answers your question, or if you have any other questions, you can just type. Oh, yes, it does. Thank you very much, Ma. I also saw another hands raised from Mr. Friday. Okay, let me unmute your mic so that you can go ahead and ask your question. Okay, your mic is allowed, Mr. Friday. You can go ahead and speak. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for the information, the webinar. For our subscription is being managed in-house, and the issue we usually have is the fact that our cards, there's a limit on the card payment, and also most times when Microsoft tries to bill, you can't bill because there's a limit on the card. So once it moves to EST, right, and Microsoft cannot bill, is that going to be a problem? I just want to understand how that works, since they can't even bill the card and it goes, anything going to happen?
What you've explained is called either direct billing or a web direct, meaning you paid Microsoft directly. I might not be able to answer your question fully because it's not something that we are specialized in, given that you deal with Microsoft directly. However, the EST has been enforced on that form of purchase. That's the web direct or direct billing. It has been enforced since last month. So for the card expiration and the billing, I'm not sure how that is going to work. It's just the EST aspect I know that has been enforced. I started enforcement since last month.
Yes, because I kind of find it a bit, I think I've been experiencing some of these things right for now. So when you were saying it's like
Okay.
my old tenant is different. So I wanted to clarify that.
Okay. But then you wouldn't have to go through that anymore if you move to a partner, and then you get about 15 to 18% cost savings if you go to a CSP partner instead of purchasing directly with Microsoft.
Okay, thank you, Ma. Mr. Friday, I hope she has been able to answer your question properly.
Yes, but I'm still waiting because what currently happens is the fact that once it expires, it goes to expired, and then after some time disable. And I've not really experienced the EST notification or any of those kind of settings. So
Yeah,
I
so
don't.
why you haven't experienced it is it hasn't met all three conditions. So your the expiration date is not happening or didn't happen before May 4. May 4 is the general day for, or I would say, okay, for the online services, that's the web direct or the direct billing. It was February 9, I want to believe, was the day they enforced it. So if your subscription expired before then it wouldn't have entered the EST. It would just go through, take on that normal flow of free grace period, expiration, disabled state, which is 90 days, and then the deletion state. So I want to believe that's what is happening to your subscription right now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Friday. I hope that's fine with you. Like you got your questions answered.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So we have a question in the chat. Um, so Mr. Joseph asked, can you share documentation in regards to EST and the recent changes that will be enforced on the 4th of May?
Yes, we will share that. We'll also share, if you're in IT, like I mentioned earlier, we'll share internal communications email or maybe a one pager that you can share with finance or procurement department, just to let them understand the implication of delaying your decision making process.
Okay, thank you very
So
much, Mr. Joseph.
yes,
I hope, okay, Mr. Israel said is interested in the documentation too. As she said, we'll share that with you via email. So you're going
yes,
to
we will.
get a one page or so, or yeah, a document. Thank you very much. So please, is anybody else with any questions? Because we're already 1 minute past the time. Let me look at the chat. Okay, nobody, no questions. Okay, then we have come to the end of the Q&A session. So thank you, Adibie, and thank you to everyone who asked questions. Those were very
Thank
thoughtful,
you,
and I'm sure
Queen.
many of you, yeah, thank you, well done. And I'm very sure many of you had the same things on your mind. So I hope today's session has given you the clarity you need on, oh, Mr. Samuel is just joining. Well, you can join. So I hope this session has given you clarity you need on what this change means, and more importantly, what to do about it before it affects your business. But before you leave, I just shared a short feedback form in the chat. It won't even take up to 1 minute. It takes less than 1 minute. Your feedback is what helps us make future sessions even better. So please do take a moment to answer it. Please, we need you to answer it. And while you are doing that, let me quickly mention something about another part of Hashem family that some of you may be aware of or may not be aware of. So just permit me to share my screen now. Sorry, hold on. So please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you let me know if you can see my screen? You should be so yes. Thank you very much, ma'am. So so what I want to tell you about, as you can see on the screen, Ha-Shem Academy. So that is a subsidiary of Ha-Shem Limited, and it's a training institute for both tech and non-tech fields. So whether you're looking to upskill, get into tech, or earn a certification like Microsoft 365 Administrator or other Microsoft certification, Ha-Shem Academy is the place for you. And in celebration of International Women's Day, we are still in the month of March, and that is the International Women's Day, we'll say months. And throughout the month of March, we are also proud to support women who are interested in building careers in cybersecurity. So throughout Gen Z cybersecurity training, Hashem is empowering women with that knowledge, practical skills, and confidence needed to enter and thrive in the cybersecurity space. So if you're a woman and you're interested, you can reach out to training@hashem.com. And also in that feedback form I shared that you should fill, there is a part where I included for you to tell us if you're interested. You pick yes or no, and we can reach out to you. But if you know you want to reach out to us directly, please reach out to training@hashem.com. I think I'll just type that out in the chat box. Hashem.com. Yes. So please, you can reach out to training@hashem.com is on your screen. And our facility is also available for professional exam and has a co-working space. To find out more on Get Started, you can also send an email to training@hashem.com. When is Men's Day? Don't worry.
Yes, I I want to believe we'll have a package for men. That's in November. We'll have a package for men when it's International Men's Day. Queen, I just wanted to add to what you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
It's not just for women to take action. If you're a man and you want to ensure that the technology space is evenly distributed, would want you to take part in this by sponsoring a woman for our Gen
Yes.
Z cybersecurity training. So that's just what I wanted to
Yes.
add.
So you can reach out to us at training@hashem.com if you know you're interested in sponsoring a woman. Please, please, please don't hold back. Don't keep it to yourself. Reach out to us and we'll move forward with you. Thank you very much. And with that, we have reached the end of today's session. Thank you, Adibie, for sharing this information with us and breaking it down very well. I know and I believe you've explained it very well. And thank you to our guests
Thank
for
you.
showing up today. Thank you for your time. So whether you joined from the beginning or you turn partway through, your time means a lot to us. So please follow us on our social media platform. You can see on my screen. I'm going to share it now. Oh, can you all see my screen? Because I don't know if it's moving.
Okay, what I can say is the Hashem Academy still.
Oh, okay. Let me move it then. So yeah, you can follow us on Hashem at Hashem Limited on our LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That is X now at Ha-Shem Limited. If you want to visit us, you have an inquiry, you want to come physically, you can visit us at number 9 Bikule Street, Herbert Macaulay Way, Yaba, Lagos, Nigeria. Or you want to visit our website and just send an inquiry from there, you don't want to move, you can do that. Go to www.hashem.com, or you can send us an email at marketing@hashem.com, or you can call 08134711833. So thank you very much, everyone. And
Thank you,
also,
Queen.
yeah,
Thank
how
you,
can I
everyone.
forget our YouTube? Please, please, please help us to subscribe on our YouTube. Go to YouTube, search Ha-Shem Limited, and please subscribe. We are churning out videos on not just videos though, explainer videos on cybersecurity, courses, things that are related to tech, breaking it down for you in a way that is easy to understand. So please follow us on YouTube at Ha-Shem Limited to not miss these informations and goodies. So thank you everyone. Have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.